So the majority's witnesses, Mr. Hilton, Mr. Ring, and Mr. Greenhut, are not firefighters. But thank goodness we do have a firefighter on this panel today, Mr. Frevolt, who not only was a firefighter, he was a fire chief. And he, in his testimony, talks about that this is not a traditional wildfire. This is a wildland-urban conflagration. And I'm going to show you in a little bit a video of what was happening. But I just want to explain, when you solve for the wrong problem, not only do you not get the solution, you can cause harm. So Donald Trump has it in his mind that somehow there's a spigot in Northern California, he's going to open a valve and dump water to Southern California. Here are the facts. Southern California's reservoirs are at near record levels when this fire happened. Didn't matter, because Donald Trump then ordered the Army Corps of Engineers to release over 2 billion gallons of water that almost flooded farmland, if not for the local water districts that pushed back. But guess what? This water was saved for the farmers for the summer season when they needed the water. And so the president wasted all this water that isn't even reaching Southern California, it's going to evaporate for a PR stunt. So this was a harmful, ludicrous action to solve for the wrong problem. And so I want to show a video now of what was happening in the Eaton fire that wiped out Altadena. Just watch this 15-second video. That is not a timber harvest problem, not a desalinization problem, not a homeless person problem, not a voter ID problem. That is burning embers being blown by unprecedented Santa Ana winds that reach up to 100 miles per hour. And these burning embers that could be softball size would fly for miles and miles and miles and hit a structure and set that structure on fire. And then that structure became the fuel for the fire. That's what was happening. The structures became the fuel for the fire. And so, Mr. Frevolt, can you talk about, first of all, confirm that that is true, and then explain in your testimony about strengthening sort of these structures with fire-resistant materials?
Concur with what you said initially. Repeat the last part of your question, please.
In your testimony, you talk about how to harden some
Yes.
of these structures with fire-resistant materials, which actually is something that might make sense, not for the other random policies that the majority of witnesses are trying to jam through on ideological reasons.
I would point to two standing sets of work that we could start on yesterday. The first is the Wildfire Prepared Home designation from the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety. That's a package of mitigations that has been proven to be effective on really two things. It is preventative embers getting into structures and then starting the structure itself on fire. And it also helps with low duration, low intensity fire in and around the structure. While those are necessary, they're insufficient when we get high concentrations of structure. We need to get enough of those parcel level mitigations done to protect structure to structure spread. If you just do one here, one there, you'll still lose that piece. The second one comes out of the National Institute for Standards Technology, Technical Note 2205, Hazard Mitigation Methodology, excellent set of recommendations.
Thank you. And let me just say this, it is particularly outrageous for witnesses to somehow blame Democrats. You know who signed CEQA? Ronald Reagan. That's who signed CEQA. And Governor Newsom pre-positioned assets before this fire. But those helicopters and airplanes could not fly over the Eaton fire because of the 100-mile-per-hour winds. That was the truth. That is what happened. Go do your own research.